you are about 30% more likely to get stabbed to death in the United States than you are in the United Kingdom. And in total, you are about 6 times more likely to be murdered in the United States than you are in the United Kingdom. Now that I've said that dark statement, isn't this a beautiful neighborhood? I'm going for a lovely walk. It's a beautiful autumn day here in the UK in this nice suburban neighborhood. Anyways, now if you were to ask anyone in the UK whether or not they think that there is a knife problem in the UK, they would more than likely say yes. In fact, pretty much everyone I can think of in the UK would agree that there is a knife problem in the UK. But if you were to ask an American the same exact question, they would say that there's not a knife problem in the US. In fact, I have had many Americans try to say that stabbings are really bad in the UK as a way to try to say that things are safer in the US, even though, as I've just shared with you, you are more likely to be stabbed in the US. This is a problem with Americans and something I used to fall into as well. You're taught to be so patriotic that it tips over into nationalism at times, to a point where you are unable to acknowledge the faults of your own country. I feel the people in the UK have the exact opposite problem. They pick on their country a little too much and have few good things to say about it, which is why I make the videos I do. And I feel like both countries could take something positive from this. The British could realize that their country is not such a bad place after all. And the Americans could maybe finally understand that their country is not perfect. And I'm not saying all Americans believe that, but there are many who do. But anyways, yes, if you have an American ever try to bring up the knife problem in the UK to you, make sure to remind them that per capita you are 30% more likely to be stabbed to death in the US than the UK. Because the US, just like the UK, has a knife problem. But the US also has something else. The elephant in the room. The US has a massive gun problem. A very touchy subject. Even though the United States has the #1 spot in the world for murders by gun.